The It's Your Business show is brought to you by Promo Experts. When you select Promo Experts as your marketing partner, we help you to see more than the big picture with marketing promotion tools and services. And by Publishing Concepts. Let Publishing Concepts LLC help you get your publishing project off the ground. It's Your Business is an informative weekly small business topic radio show for you, the listeners, to gain knowledge and inspiration to help guide your journey to owning and operating your very own small business. Whether you're starting your own business or already a successful entrepreneur, then listening to how others succeed can help you be successful. Okay, audience, here are your hosts, Dr. Stan Fine and Jim Jump.
then says, hey, this is what we do, this is how we think we can help.
Right.
But I'm glad to hear about the direct mail because when you do direct mail, correct, you can pick zip codes, you can look
Absolutely.
at income levels, you can
Absolutely.
look
Yes, you
at,
can.
and can you
Yeah.
get into a little bit of the psychographics
Well, they actually
about
call
the,
it geofencing. So
Uh-huh.
you can, as you said, the demographics. You can give them the age that you want, the income you want, the zip code, yes, and they have all that information, so that they can highly target and narrow down exactly who your client is. And it's the same with social media. Actually, you have to know who is your customer, who are you targeting, where are they going online, what platforms are they involved in, and are they interacting in? Because you can't just go out there and just sit there. It's it's
Right.
interactive.
Well,
So
and the direct mail, the percentage has always been around 2-3% that you hope you can gain from a
Right.
campaign,
right.
which is probably pretty good, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I had years ago. I built a business on direct mail. We had what we called a wish list of 300 potential customers, and they were all manufacturers because at the time they needed flyers, they needed things for trade shows, they needed websites because websites were just coming in then.
I can imagine that.
Can you believe
Just
that?
coming
Showing
in.
my age.
Well, I'm right with you. So,
But yeah,
and
when
that's
the first
okay.
came
We're,
out,
we're supposedly experienced and
as a
wise now,
marketer, we
right?
just thought
Aren't
it was-
we
I
experienced
know.
and wise now if that's the case?
I know, as a marketer, we thought, oh yeah, well, it's just another tool, but oh my goodness, it's a huge tool. It's a big hammer.
Yes, right.
So yeah, so they all needed that. But social media has this opened up the whole world, I think, for small businesses. If you
Oh yeah,
you know,
it helped them survive
right.
where, as it once was, you were in your local community,
right,
and maybe you didn't
right,
pick the right location,
right,
or
that's-
maybe you were a food
Sure.
business near a manufacturing
Sure.
place that
Sure.
closed down, and now you have nobody coming
absolutely,
in.
absolutely.
And so the internet gave you that world.
It's just opened up. The
Yeah,
entire world.
of
Yeah,
people that could
Right.
then do business with you.
that's right.
And
Yes.
thank goodness for that, because it really was truly a difficult thing for
Mm-hmm.
people. Because think about the bank side of that.
right,
I'm giving out loans,
Right,
and guess
right,
what?
right.
If these things close,
Right.
that's just not good for what we
Right,
do,
right.
and it gets harder for the next person.
Well, it's a
because
global
of the
economy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
you can really do business anywhere these days.
All right,
So,
and thank goodness
yeah,
for
and
that.
I think the internet has done that. But social media has allowed people, like I say, to highly target, who their customers are. So you really
Right.
need to know that. Before
And,
you
and the
start.
word I used a minute ago, and it's still, I think, fairly new, what is psychographics. And so, to kind of explain it, if you are doing, for example, direct mail and you want 100,000 plus income levels, the next step is, so if I'm sending out something to people in the, let's say, 150,000 income level, psychographics would then tell me, you could have two people in the same block. One guy would enjoy going to the theater, and the other guy wants to go, mountain climbing. So their use of money is might be totally different. They got it,
Right.
but this guy wants to go to the, watch plays, and this
Right.
guy wants to go
Right.
climb
Right.
and do something
Right.
outdoors.
Right.
So if I'm trying to attract them to me, I need to understand also that even though they got the money, doesn't mean
That's correct. Yeah.
what I'm doing
Right.
even
Right.
is of
Yeah.
interest.
So with social media, there are groups, and so
See, that's where I was going with
yeah.
this.
So if you're offering something for mothers, or newborns, then there's a moms group, and so you would go
Isn't
to-
that nice though that it's already categorized together
Right,
for
yeah,
you?
yeah.
And then all I got to do is say hello.
That's right.
Here's something
well,
that for you.
when you first go to those groups,
Yeah.
you really you shouldn't sell. So
No, the good point, and I think that's something
Right.
to learn this morning.
you just make the relationships and show your expertise.
And you gotta be consistent.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, and no different than all the years of advertising for companies, you gotta always let them know that even if you're not ready, I'm here.
Mhm.
Because if they can't find you when they're ready,
Right.
or all of a sudden you're gone, but
Right.
where did you go?
Right.
Then you're not going to get
So, that's right.
anything in return.
Consistency is the key.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Yeah.
what would you suggest companies deciding what platforms to choose for developing marketing? So the word platform, kind of explain what that is, and then how does that relate to decision making?
Okay, so when we mention a social media platform, a platform is Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok these days.
Yeah,
They're selling
big.
on TikTok.
Yes.
You know, depending on who your target audience is, again, Facebook is traditionally older people, 50 and up. Instagram are the younger crowd, the 30 to 50s. TikTok, I think, you know, that's really kind
It's
of
across the
getting a
board.
bit of everybody.
Yeah,
because,
I think so.
Yeah.
It's
but
an entertainment kind of
absolutely, yeah,
platform, and I
right,
think that's
right.
why.
Depends on what you're selling,
Yeah,
really. I mean,
yeah.
if it's something that's obviously, you know, pretty serious, you
But
wouldn't be able
big
to-
name people are going to
Mhm.
TikTok
Mhm.
to add to what they do,
Right,
and people are enjoying that.
right, right. Yeah, it's fun. It's yeah.
By the way, my daughter and I did a little
Did you really?
routine, and we put it on
Oh, how
TikTok.
cute!
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
have to go look.
Oh, it was so much fun. She already knew kind of
Wow.
what
Wow.
she wanted to do.
Sure.
She had to kind of bring me along, no doubt about it. But it was fun. We did it at home on our upper deck and
That's great.
put it out. And
Wow.
yeah, I'll make sure you
A
get.
TikTok star.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was ever that, but it was fun to do
Right.
something that was kind
Sure.
of designed
Sure.
for
Yeah.
a certain medium.
Right, yeah, and YouTube. You know, YouTube is the second most searched search engine.
To what?
Google would be the first. Well, Google owns YouTube, so
so
if you
so
Google something,
you're
you
going through
notice
the
YouTube always shows up.
Yes.
So it's really good to have video, but video is really important in social media marketing. Really important. And so if you have, when you do your YouTube or even your Facebook Lives, or you put a video on Facebook, you can even put videos on LinkedIn. You know, just get comfortable. There is an app that shows you scrolling, you know, script across the bottom. So you're not like, you know, looking at a piece of paper in front of you. So, you know, there are
How
things
nice
out
is
now to
that?
help you to make
Yeah.
sure, to make
Because they
professional
know
looking. Hmm.
anybody, anywhere, any place says,
Mhm.
you know what? Yeah, I would like to give this a try.
That's right, yeah. And it gets, you know, people do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And you know, in the old days, you know, the business cards for the realtors used to have their picture on. They still do, actually.
Yes, yes.
And so-
and that's kind of where that began, right?
Mhm, right, right. So,
So
if
I
somebody knows
say-
what you look
yeah.
like, and they feel like they know you. You know, it makes them more comfortable in.
Because people do make buying decisions mostly with somebody that they
Absolutely.
like and trust.
Right. Yeah. So.
And that's just
Right, right.
it has to be the backbone to developing business.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, videos you know, just a casual, and like you did a fun TikTok. That's
Yes.
great. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
TikTok would be really good for retail. I think if you're a manufacturer, you probably should, you know, stay with the more serious, the LinkedIn's of the world. But actually, Twitter is really good for manufacturing too, because if they have a new product that they want to get out there quickly, Twitter's a great way. You know, you just post to Twitter and thousands,
Let it go.
hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, sure. Mhm.
And that is really a much more quicker, easier, I guess you can control and do by having those accounts
Mhm.
than having to do too much.
Right.
And I guess that's my point to that is
Right.
that it's pretty accessible
Mm-hmm.
to anybody.
Everybody,
And
that's-
all the
yeah.
formats really
Right,
are.
right.
And when you say that's probably the biggest benefit to all of this.
It is, and then, you know, to choose what we call a platform, you have to know where your target audience is.
And that is really the basics of marketing from
Mhm.
even way back
Mhm.
is who is really
Right.
my primary customer.
Right.
And I talked to you earlier about when I was teaching classes on business plans and what have you, and I would cover the basics. That was still one of the areas that we would talk about. What is the benefit?
Mhm. Right.
Because if there's no benefit to the customer,
That's right. What's in
then
it for me?
what's in it for me? And
Right.
those are the basic terms that again existed a
Mhm.
long time ago.
Mhm.
Because if I not interested, you can do all the selling you want. I'm just not
right.
interested.
It's true. Yeah.
And the other part of that was selling of the benefits. So when Goodyear was selling tires, they were showing a mom driving in a car with kids in it and being able to stop in the rain.
Right.
Those tires were saving her kids and how important that was. So
Right.
selling the benefit,
Right.
not this rubber
Right.
that we just mass produce and
Absolutely.
then get them out to
Sure.
stores to sell.
Right.
And so showing what that really was, I think, was part of good advertising
Sure.
and how they were able to understand that and
Right.
develop it.
Right.
But the other thing, excitement that I used to make them do is groups. Okay, what's your primary target? What do they look like? Ages, income,
Right.
those kinds of
Right.
things.
And one way of finding out where your audience is to go look at your competitors. Look at your
Oh
competitors.
my gosh, is
Look at
that
their Facebook page, their
Yes.
LinkedIn, their who is it that is coming to their pages, and that would give you some idea if you have a similar product of who you
Yep.
where you need to be on social media.
And the other part of that, again, going through the process of explaining some of this through business plans, is understanding what they do.
That's
And,
right.
and my point being is they could be good at selling, but then they don't do a good job of warranties
Right,
or
customer
your
service,
customer service when you
right,
call and
right,
have a problem
right.
and
Where
no
are you
one's going to
different
help you. And so when you can go down the list of things and say, here's what I know about them,
Right.
but here's what we can do, and maybe those are my advantages. Because
Right.
you got to have them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's where are you different
Yep.
and how are you going to get that across.
And then you got to then start to explain that as
That's
you
right.
now are engaged, because what we primarily know, and even though it's changed, I think over several years, but most things already exist. So that means you're trying to convince them to buy from you
Right.
and not from
Yeah,
so
why would-
wherever
why
you're
would
already
they do
getting
that?
that product and service.
That's right.
And
Why
so
would-
you've got to sell that.
Right, right.
Be-
And one way of doing it on Facebook is if that's your particular audience, is doing more of a corporate culture, not just selling your product, showing pictures of your company picnic or,
Yeah, very
celebrating
good.
an anniversary,
Yeah.
an employee's anniversary. The things you're doing in the community. Are you, helping to clean up trash off the highway? Whatever it
You're
is.
the responsibility of,
Right,
of,
right.
of
It's your corporate
your
culture,
company,
and
yeah,
it's getting
yeah.
people to like you. you
Yeah.
know, So
makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense, because as we then make decisions and we are doing certain things with groups we belong to, places we go to, it also is a reflection of what we think and a little bit of the values that
That's
we
right,
hold, and
yes.
so we want that to be
right, yeah.
in line.
Right, and
right?
if you're a new business and somebody makes a referral, oh, this product is really great, whatever it is, skincare or whatever, people are going to go immediately to your social media. They're going to go look at reviews. They're going to go see
And
how
listen
you're
to what,
involved.
yep,
Yeah. So
what the
they're not just buying your product; they're buying you. They're
Yeah.
buying your entire organization and how you're reflecting yourself. To
right,
your, to
and
your
how
customers.
responsible you really are that in that exchange of working with your customer,
Right.
because that's what you're trying to develop. And I've got another question. We're going to wait because we're almost going to be on break here in another minute or so. But back to, you got to look at it as you're in it for the longer haul, because if you think of it as, oh, I'm not worried about all those other things,
Right.
because I'm already good enough, and I shouldn't have to worry, or they're lucky to have me.
There you go.
Boy, if that's probably not going to
Not a
catch
good
up to
idea.
you, right? Sooner than later, I don't know what else we could help you with when it comes to
Right.
you. And one of the things that, and I'll probably finish with this and then go to break, is the hardest thing is exceeding expectations, because it is.
It is.
Because
yes.
people generally have a pretty high level
do.
of what they think they want and how they want that done. And most companies that are not tuned in, you'll be disappointed pretty quickly. And always coming back with something else, something new, exceed those expectations,
Right.
because that more often than not, probably
Right,
don't.
right.
So having said that, I think we're ready for a break. We'll listen to some of our sponsors and give them some time, and we certainly want to do that. And then we'll be back shortly and continue talking to Diane Carson of Promos Expertise. And so please come back.
Commercial Energy Consultants is a 10-year-old national company focusing on middle to large commercial accounts. CEC offers these companies services by lowering their electric and natural gas rate. CEC does not charge for this service and has over 10,000 happy clients with almost 2 billion kWh/therm under contract. What makes
We're okay
CEC
to
different
talk?
is their reverse auction.
Go, okay.
Commercial Energy Consultants offers a
Experts.
way.
Promo experts.
Expertise.
I know.
I want to.
Too late, you're hacked. Defending Your Small Business Computers and Networks is a new book written for small businesses with a limited understanding of IT with cybersecurity challenges. This book introduces critical IT terms and concepts and is intended for owners or professionals handling their business IT department with narrow expertise. Even though one may think cybersecurity is taken care of, understand that cybersecurity requires ongoing management and knowledge that extends beyond the everyday IT. Businesses are vulnerable and may permanently close within 6 months after a breach by failing to understand and implement proper cybersecurity defenses. Author Tony Zafropoulos is a systems computer expert of 10+ years and a certified information systems auditor. Tony uses his strong IT background to protect your computers and networks against cyber attacks. To order your book, go to fixvirus.com. That's fixvirus.com.
Commercial Energy Consultants is a 10-year-old national company focusing on middle to large commercial accounts. CEC offers these companies services by lowering their electric.
Have you ever heard that skincare is holistic? Sage Skincare approaches the love and care of your skin from a physical, mental, and spiritual approach. First, physically, keep your skin healthy, glowing, and blemish-free with the gentle, effective products that Sage Skincare incorporate. Based in St. Louis, Missouri, this skincare company has been supplying vegan, pet-approved, and cruelty-free products to clients all over the world for nearly 40 years. With a diverse product line, they offer exfoliants, balms, eye creams, and sunscreen for all different skin types. Whether you're looking to erase fine lines and wrinkles or treat your rosacea and discoloration, they have everything you need to transform your skin. From masks and peels to moisturizers and spot treatments, you'll find products that will help you target your specific skin problems. Then mentally, what is the saying? You're as young as you feel. Better with Sage Skincare products, you look as young as you feel. Finally, spiritually, Sage Skincare products help you achieve your most beautiful you, one step at a time. For more information, call Sage Skincare at 636-625-0795. That's 636-625-0795. or email us at melissa@sageskincare.com. That's melissa@sageskincare.com. Also be sure to ask for a special code Radio 2021 for 15% off your first order.
Do you know anyone that has dreams and could use a community of support, or someone who just loves to help others with their dreams? Well, located in Chesterfield Mall, Gateway to Dreams was founded in 2014 to help St. Louis dream together. If you're looking to open a business, grow a business, or write a book, or looking for like-minded, positive people to connect with, then Gateway to Dreams is for you. Check out their programs like Jog of Goals, a life-changing way to dream, set goals, and take action. Connecting and Promoting Women, a monthly program with speakers and connections. Your Collaborate Board, a mastermind of women entrepreneurs working on your business right now. An interactive workshop where you literally work on your business. Their mission is to inspire action and give voice and clarity to the
the Ferguson Hot Talk Radio Network, and our show is designed to speak to small businesses, and we've been fortunate enough to find that there is a need for that in the marketplace. My partner, Dr. Stan Fine, is taking some needed rest today, and we know he'll be ready to go for next week, so rest up, pal. And in the meantime, we are talking to Diane Carson from Promo Experts. Said it right this time. I was going with Promo Expertise, which
I
might, yeah, you liked, and I might jump back to that. But we'll give our audience who you are, and Diane specifically works with small to mid-sized companies that need help designing, marketing, and promotional campaigns. And so setting it up that way, there are potentially millions of companies, because there are millions of companies and they all need to figure that out. There's different ways to get there. Bigger companies we know have in-house people that do a lot of that work, and so that's just the way that is. But for smaller to mid-sized companies, they probably know they need to do it and don't always do it. And I think that's more true than not. And part of that is, where do I go? Who would I talk to? How do I know I'm getting what I should get? How do I know I'm with somebody that gets what I do and can get us where we need to go? But that's what Diane's here for, because she's going to be able to answer all those questions, and has tons of examples and companies she's working with, and we're going to talk about that too. So as we were really covering the first half of the show, what marketing advertising once was, kind of where it's evolved, where it is today. To kind of summarize that, some of the formats have changed, but the ideas haven't. You've got to promote and advertise. You've got to get your name out in front of customers. You've got to deliver a message about the benefits of what you do, and then how you deliver that to the customer. And I think that's multifaceted. There's, again, a lot of different ways to do that, but you've got to start with some core ideas. What is it you do? What do you do well? And how do we then take that out to the marketplace?
Right.
I think is really the beginning conversation, if you will. So first question, as we're into the second half of the show, what platforms do you think are best for small businesses or startups? And the reason I'm bringing that as the first question, because again, I know our audience has a lot of people that are either just starting, thinking about starting, still new to it all. And so answering this question, I think we hit a home run this morning just by what platforms are good for small startups.
Great. Well, first of all, it's really important, as I think we covered in the first part, is not to rely on social media solely to market your business. Having said that, the other thing that people tend to do is say, well, I don't need a website, I'll just go with a Facebook page. Well, no, you need a website.
Yes, you need a website.
You do.
Because
Yeah.
we've learned that people like to do their own work.
Right.
And figure out
Right.
what their options are,
Right.
What they like.
Right.
Maybe they
Right.
can eliminate a
Right.
lot of the
Right.
questions in advance.
Right, and even if it's just a one pager, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be, one with like
Elaborate.
5, 6
Yeah.
pages. It just needs to have, because content is king these days,
Mm-hmm.
and so when somebody Googles whatever it is they're looking for, a dog groomer near me,
Yes.
up pops your website, your Facebook page. Probably 9 times out of 10, it will eventually pop up, but it'll be buried, 2 pages down. So
right. But the website is
the website
is the first.
the first thing obviously
Yeah.
to come up in Google. So you do need a website, even if it's just a simple one pager, and then you do need a Facebook business page.
Okay.
Don't
Right.
try to get everybody to go to your business page. One way to do that is to look through your list of the people on your personal page, and Facebook has the capability of just inviting everybody to go to your
How
business
nice.
page. So it's really better to keep your business separate than your personal, because you may be posting things on your personal page that, I don't want to use the word offend, but that people may not agree with. A lot of people.
And yeah,
put
you
things
don't
on there
need
No, so-
why am I
you
now
need to keep it strictly
hearing about this?
strictly business. So so it shows that you're more experienced, and that you're serious about doing business if you have a business Facebook page, if that's the platform you're gonna be using, which 9 times out of 10 is probably the biggest platform. The other thing with Facebook too is, if you have a business page, if you're a retailer and you have a flash sale, you can say, anybody who comes in the next 3 hours, gets a 20% off. A top or whatever it is. So you can use that page, for that, because then you'll get the general public to go in and like that Facebook page, and that's how you would use that. So we'd use it strictly for business. So
Right.
at the minimum, you need a Facebook page and a website, and that way, keep it to if you're doing it yourself, because it's a lot of work, and you need to be posting.
And you got to be current.
You need to be posting 2 or 3 times a week, and the best days to post are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Because,
Really?
Yeah, because people on Monday, they're too busy catching up with emails.
Friday, they're already
Friday,
checked out.
they're gone. Yeah, they're not working. So,
Wow.
so
Close your ears if you didn't like to hear that one.
and really experiment, because you can go in. Facebook have the analytics, and you can go in and look and see, who's looked at your page, who's clicked on what, how long have they spent there, what are the age groups, so that you know who you're marketing to. So there's a lot of data that you can use in order to move your business forward. So,
And you've got to know this information, because otherwise you're developing
Right.
all this for who?
Right,
I
right.
mean, that's really the big question.
That's right.
Who's
So-
this for? And
Yeah.
then that helps form decisions.
That's right,
And,
yeah.
and get you better at it.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
if you're not, you're really you're losing.
Absolutely, yeah. And you need to pay attention to those analytics. Don't just post. Go and take a look at who's looking at what you're posting.
So there are people that can help you with that, right? And would that be something you would help a company with?
Absolutely, yeah. I have a client who's just started up a restaurant, and our marketing is. We're using a couple of newspapers, and it's in a small
Man,
town.
oh, really?
So we're doing some little ads in the newspaper, and then one of the programs that the newspaper has is he's entered into the best of. So he purchased an ad, and then we got all of his customers and his waitresses and his cooks and bartenders. They all went in there once a day and voted him in the best in 2 categories.
There you go.
Now he's in the top 5. So we're doing it again. So he's on his little tables. There's a little sign that says, "Go to this to this website and vote
Put
us
your
for
vote
the
in,
best.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the newspaper's benefiting, the restaurant's benefiting, the customers are having fun doing it.
And it's just a
The
coordination thing.
employees are all into
Right,
it because
yeah.
they want to be the best of. So yeah, so that's a way of using, you know, newspaper ads along with social media, and so it's, you know, it's beneficial to everybody.
Right. And so that's an example of, you know, one of your clients that's using social media to grow their business.
Right.
Can you see then also, I'm sure you can, just sales growth?
Absolutely, they're
that-
coming in with coupons.
Oh, wow.
Right, and so, you know, we can tell, you know, where our customers are coming from, and he does, you know, he backs a couple of sports teams, local high school sports teams. So most of his Facebook is he has his live music, so he'll do Facebook Lives and say, "Come on
Very
down,
good.
you know, this band is here, come and have fun." So, and it's strictly, we've built about, I think he's got about 1,000 followers on Facebook now. He's been
Wow.
doing it for about 3 months.
And what
But-
market is he in?
He's in Illinois, actually. So he's over actually where you live. So
Really?
yeah.
Would I know who he is?
Well, he just started. He's the old Chico's restaurant in Wood River. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
now called Martin's Tunes and Eats.
Okay,
So
good.
he's doing great, and most of it, you know, we've built through actually PR. We did a press release and when he opened, and you know, we got a lot of people coming in from that. So yeah.
And I have to tell our audience just what you have done for our radio show, for Dr. Stan and I, for our It's Your Business Radio, giving us right at the beginning a really nice logo design. And so I'm going to bring those up because those are pieces still that
Absolutely, yeah.
you have to do something with.
Right.
You can't not.
Right.
And so that logo design was really important and sets a tone. It gives an audience a, hey, wow, they look like they really know what
Right.
they're doing.
It's professional.
Professional,
Right,
yes,
right,
and I
yeah.
think that's very
Right,
important.
and you use it consistently throughout all your marketing materials. So when you do that, you look
You
professional.
can quickly identify
You look
who it is.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. You can get a brand. So
Yes, right.
Yeah, you're branding yourself by doing that.
Right,
So, yeah.
and then press releases that you've done, the Post-Dispatch being the primary
Right.
newspaper
Well,
here in
press
St. Louis.
releases, yeah, they used to be used, you know, in the old days. We used to send them,
But we can still reference it,
we
right?
used to send them to media that we thought, you know, would absolutely, you know, perk up and maybe do an interview. But nowadays it's reverse. You put it on your website or on your social media or your LinkedIn, and the media come to you now to see what you're doing, and if they think, you know, you're putting yourself out there as an expert, then you'll get the media interested in you rather than sending it. You're just doing inward rather than outward.
Oh yeah, and you can't be selling all the time,
No,
correct?
no.
Explain that because
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
another rule.
Right. Well, with a press release, when you put it out there into the media, it's on their website, and then you put a link in there that will take people back to your website. So a press release has to be newsworthy. You know, it can't be, we have the best product, we have the best employees.
Right,
It
right.
can't be anything, you know. For instance,
And it can be educational or something that
right.
people wouldn't like to know
Right,
that they didn't know.
One of my clients has written a book on internet security, and so we did a press release, you know, on that with a link to take it back to his website, and that's very important. You know, right now it's everybody's top of mind.
Yes,
So
right,
you know,
right.
that's something. If it's newsworthy, you know, hook into it. If something's going on, you know, in the news, and
And isn't that what people still want to get from companies as their jobs to promoting and advertising, but also news stories?
Right.
Isn't that what we
right,
call that?
right, yeah, stories are very important. Yeah.
Or even like a startup. Okay, who's behind it? Why here?
Why are you doing this?
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
And who's involved in
Right.
it? What does that mean for the local
When you're making an
economy?
announcement that you're there and that you know what your background is and you know who you're going to serve, who your customers would be, so that gets that all out there. The good thing about a press release is it never goes away. So if somebody Googles you, that press release is always there on the internet, always. So
Really?
sure. So if you send out, a press release a month, that's 12 out there. If you can do that, I mean, don't just send them out.
No,
just
right,
because,
and that's a
but-
nice
Right.
goal if you think that way.
Right. Yeah.
So that at least you're doing some of that, even if it's not fully accomplished.
Right,
You
right,
know that these
right.
are important things to keep letting people understand what you do
Right.
and
If
why.
you have an announcement about something, yes. Are you sponsoring a run? Are you
Yeah, for a local
right?
charity or
Is
whatever.
it your 25th anniversary? How many years have you been in business? Is it your anniversary? Those kinds of things.
Let's do this real quick because I want to make sure our audience can get in touch with you. How would they reach you if what we're doing so far has piqued their interest and they're thinking, I need to talk to Diane Carson?
Right.
How would they get hold of Diane
Well,
Carson?
they can call me at 636-458-5241, or they can email me, Diane, Diane, at promo, PROMO, experts, XPERTZ.
Got to get that right
And
because
we
I
talked about how that name came up, and that's pretty interesting.
I know.
Because I looked for a URL that probably wasn't, as tricky as that one.
Yeah,
But that was
right.
what was available at the time, and I thought it was pretty clever, but
But you're always still fighting that battle about, no, this is good for
and
me.
people say, I sent you an email. I said, what did you send it to?
Oh, you-
PRMOEX. No,
No, never gonna find me.
That's right.
So sorry, but
That's right.
but I'll help
Yeah,
you
so
with that.
really, that's a tip. Be really careful of the URL that you select. Take it from me.
Yeah, right. The promotion lady who can explain that story. If nothing else, we can help you with those kinds of things. Today's businesses invest a large amount of budget in customer service. How is that related to social media?
Oh, yes.
I want to make sure we got that
Right,
question in
right,
because
right.
there is something about customer service that we all gauge. True? I
Right.
mean, whatever we do,
Right.
was it a good experience?
Right.
And if it wasn't,
If it wasn't,
why?
you're going to hear about
You're going
it.
to hear about it. Because we rarely talk about, oh, that was just so good. But we always hear
Right.
about, oh my gosh,
Right.
they didn't do this, they
Right.
didn't do that.
Right. So if you sign up for Google My Business, which is actually a really good thing to do, people can leave Google reviews, and probably 98% of the time they're good, but you do get the one or two that are not so good. You need to answer them immediately. So
Really?
yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry you had this experience.
Boy, and I don't think
Please come
anybody
back.
is telling you to do that. I think that's important.
Right. No, you need, because that makes people, oh my God, what's wrong with them? They didn't
know it.
reply to me. They don't care.
Right.
So
And secondly, you don't want that just sitting out
And
there forever.
guess what? They're going to tell their friends and family.
Yes.
I went in the place. There were no tables available. I had to wait for my food for an hour. There's a reason, why all those things happen.
Right. And it can happen. We know
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
Because we've all been
Oh
through it.
gosh, yeah. I mean, even last night we went out to dinner and
See?
we were warned immediately. I said the service may be slow. 2 of our people didn't show up. And so, and I said, oh no, but actually it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
We had that a
But-
week ago too. We were up in Grafton and it was over an hour before
Oh
we got our
sure,
food.
absolutely.
And it was
Yeah.
that's
I
a
know,
long
I
time to
feel
sit.
really bad for So my husband, when he went to pay, he left the tip and he put a little note on the bottom and said, "Great service considering COVID." So.
Feedback is
There you
welcome
go.
usually,
So we're
right?
trying to, because if you go to Yelp or if you go to Google and you leave, a bad, not so nice review, you do expect somebody to come back and or even if you have a product that you're not happy with. So companies now do need somebody, to answer that immediately. They do need customer service.
And one thing, though, I think we can say with this too is understand you're not going to please everybody. That's just
Absolutely.
the nature
Right.
of
You can't
business.
be all things to all
You
people.
can't be
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And so you also have to understand that some of that comes along, and so you can't
Yeah, and
freak
that's-
out and think, oh, we're the worst,
Right. One of the
or
drawbacks of social media.
Yeah.
In the old days, we couldn't go and leave a bad review.
right?
We just would grumble and just complain to all our neighbors.
Yeah, whoever would listen to us.
Right, right. And now, in
It's right out there.
You're able
As
to just
quick
go
as
right
possible.
in there and let people know your experience. Well, businesses want them to have good experiences. So if you go and answer and people are looking at those reviews, because
They do.
99% of the people do look at reviews and choose a place based or a product based on reviews. But if they see that you've come back and said, and even the ones that leave good reviews say, thank you so much, really appreciate it, I'd love to see you again, thank you for leaving.
And where are they putting those reviews at?
Well, mostly Yelp or
That's
Google.
what I thought, Yelp.
Yeah,
I've seen
or
that.
Google, yeah. Or even on Facebook, they can go on your Facebook page. If you allow people, which most people do, allow people to leave a comment, and you can
But once you open that up,
Mm-hmm.
as you have already said, make sure you respond
Mm-hmm.
to, because we all want to hear the good. We don't always want to hear the bad.
Absolutely.
That's just human nature.
That's right.
And to your point, it's going to come. Handle it.
Right.
Because when you don't, then
Yeah.
it leaves it to
Maybe that's
interpretation.
a night that you did have, you only had one waitress working in the whole place or whatever it is. So, yeah, and so you need to at least, try to explain or calm them down. But yeah,
Yep.
do answer.
But let them know you're there,
Yeah.
you're
Don't
listening.
just leave it
Yeah,
blank.
and
Yeah.
you're wanting to do something better.
Right.
So, next question, which of these do you believe has had the biggest impact on the business-customer relationship? So I'm going to read some things and more conversation to follow. Customers have all the power is one. Businesses have become more visible. More competition or viral content. So the question again, which of these do you believe has the biggest impact on the business-customer relationship?
Well, I think customers have all the power, just because of what we were talking about.
Yeah, they
if they're
do.
not happy, they can go and let people know in several ways. And
But is it all justified? Sometimes maybe not, right?
probably not. Like as you said, you're not going to please all the people all the time.
Right,
But
it's just
however,
not possible.
it's out there, and so they do have the power to say, well, don't go here anymore because this happened to me, and so.
But there are professional people that go in and look for things, right?
Absolutely. Yes, true.
Looking for
True.
something they
yeah,
can
right,
get.
Professional. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Absolutely. But the businesses have become more visible is also important too, because the discussion we had about the neighborhood or the local. Now
Right.
you're open to the whole world. Anybody can. Somebody traveling from the West Coast is coming into St. Louis, and they're maybe staying in a hotel. They're going to go look at the reviews for the hotel. They're going to say, well, where am I going to eat that night? So they're going to go look at the reviews for the restaurants around the hotel.
Yeah, all their pre
Right, and they're going to
research.
make up their little travel itinerary,
yes.
and they living
Here's what we think-
5,000
yes,
miles away.
yes.
So,
But
yeah.
that's been a good thing because it really makes getting what you want to do more of what you enjoy and what you are looking for, and then you're scanning everything that's in the area, and I think that's good
Right.
for everybody.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's, back to what we said, is having that ability for somebody 10,000 miles away say, I want to go to your restaurant. How
Absolutely.
would that even have ever been possible?
Absolutely, yes.
And
And
so
then
that-
social media has opened that up. So
Right.
yeah.
How has social media changed the way small businesses reach their target market? And are there examples of how you've helped clients reach their target market? So earlier in the show,
Right.
target customer,
Right.
who are these people
Right.
that we think are a
Right.
fit
Right.
based on age and income, and do they have children is another one that we really
Right.
didn't talk about because
Right.
that changes dynamics too.
Right. Right.
So there's different how far you want to look at
Right.
that demographic and
Right.
what you're looking to get
Right.
in those demographics.
So we talked about my restaurant client and how he uses social media because everybody comes into a restaurant to eat. So pretty much everybody is his target. My target would be businesses, and so in my own business, I tend to beef up my LinkedIn. I make sure that my profile is filled out, my background is there. I blog to show that I know I hope I know what I'm talking about.
But those formats are really set
that's
up
where
with.
people are going to go
yeah.
looking for someone to help them, to move their business forward and get to the next level. So, in my own instance, that's the one that I particularly pay attention to. Facebook is really, I do have a Facebook page, and in my promotional products side of my business, that's kind of where I put, oh, look at these lovely masks. They have a hole in them for your eyeglasses or whatever it is.
Right.
So I put the funky tchotchkes out there. That's for my Facebook. But if I want to help somebody with their marketing or with their social media, then I would beef up my LinkedIn. So
Right.
yeah, that's how.
And that has really been a good response by the marketplace, because we can all kind of vote.
Right.
What we think is good,
Right.
what we think
Right.
works, what
Right.
we are
Right.
willing to
Mhm.
go to
Right.
and even
Sure.
put our time
Right.
into
Right.
and make it all worthwhile.
Right, right.
And I think LinkedIn has certainly proved to be one of those.
It is, yeah, yeah. And then I have another client. She's an exercise coach, and we attended some health fairs. We got their email addresses. They signed up for a newsletter, and we send out a newsletter once a month. And with during COVID, of course, she couldn't go to the gym, so we've set her up on Zoom, and her clients loved it because they were in their own home. They didn't have to
Yeah.
get out in their car.
Right, and that's
So
where you can really,
she's running her business on Zoom.
and you can change
Mhm.
your
Right.
delivery.
Well, the
and-
great thing
and do
about
those
her
things.
is that she was paying the facilities, to use a room. She was giving back some of what her clients were paying her. Now she gets to keep everything because she's
And those poor people trying to with properties these days. Oh my, with all the companies.
I know.
And what
yeah,
that once looked
yeah,
like.
Yeah.
Final question, because we are close to finishing this morning's show. In addition to small businesses, do you help entrepreneurs and nonprofits with their social media marketing? So
I
this
do.
will be our last question. We'll kind of wrap up with that.
Okay.
And what would you?
Well, we talked
kinda
about
explain?
small business. So for entrepreneurs and nonprofits, as I say, I have a one-page marketing action plan, and so I would sit down with them, and we would go over what they've done, what's worked, what hasn't worked, what their budget is, how are they going to market.
Or what success they may have already had or not had,
right,
or where do they think they
right,
need to
right.
move into,
Right,
and
right.
What does that look like, and why?
Exactly, right, yeah. So, and nonprofits the same ways, how have you been getting your funding? What have you been doing? What
Are
are your
you
goals?
understaffed, and
Right,
why?
right. What are your
What needs
goals?
to happen
How are
there?
we going to get there? Yes, right.
Because non-profits have certainly brought in higher quality people and really changed that structure. And I think to their credit,
Right.
we think of them a little differently. So.
Absolutely.
So as we're finishing up this morning's show, again, if you want to give out your information, Diane, for Promo Experts, for our listeners, go ahead and do that,
Sure.
and we'll kind of
Okay.
wrap it up.
They can call me at 636-458-5241.
Okay?
Or they can email me, Diane at promo, P-R-O-M-O, experts, X-P-E-R-T-Z.com.
There you go. Expertise I'm going to use, but that's just me. Well, it was a pleasure. We certainly covered, I think, a lot of the questions that I think small businesses have today. Never going to get them all solved because that's not possible. But if we can kind of have given you answers and helped in any way, I think that made our time this
Right.
morning successful. Want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Again, you've got Diane's contact if you're looking for assistance in promotions and advertising. Diane is your person for small to mid-sized businesses. Get a hold of her at Promo Expertise. I'm going to say that again one
There
last
you
time.
go.
And so again, thank you, audience, for tuning in to another edition of It's Your Business, and we'll see you again next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
The It's Your Business show is brought to you by Promo Experts. When you select Promo Experts as your marketing partner, we help you to see more than the big picture with marketing promotion tools and services. and by Publishing Concepts. Let Publishing Concepts LLC help you get your publishing project off the ground. It's Your Business is an informative weekly small business topic radio show for you listeners to gain knowledge and inspiration to help guide your journey to owning and operating your very own small business. Whether you're starting your own business or already a successful entrepreneur, then listening to how others succeed can help you be successful. Okay, audience, here are your hosts, Dr. Stan Fine and Jim Jump.